Now, back to Matt and your morning news.
KTRH News Time is 5:47. A little British music from the Fab Four as we bring Stuart Varney in, Fox business anchor. Happy Valentine's Day, Stuart.
Oh, Matt, that's the best introductory music on the planet. The Beatles. Oh, I was a big fan, you realize.
I'm sure that you were. We want you to feel at home. And you know what? I was saying that if I ever get bad news, and I know you're going to give me some here in just a minute, I want it from you just because of your accent. It's just that no matter what you say, I don't think I will be okay with it.
Okay, let's try this.
How about Moody's adjusting the ratings of 9 European countries to capture the downside risks? We see what's going on in Greece. The country's on fire. Can we expect more of that, do you think?
Frankly, yes. And it's worse than that where America's concerned because Paul Ryan, now I think he knows more about government finance than anybody else on the planet. He's the Republican point man on government finance. He says, look, if we go on like this, America keeps on spending and racking up debt like this, we face a debt crisis like Greece within 2 to 3 years. And that's a very serious warning from a man who knows what he's talking about. So you can key off the downgrades in Europe and say, we are heading in that direction.
Now, I was just watching you on Fox News. You referred to the president as the punter-in-chief as you were describing his budget, and we'll get to that in our next segment. But let's talk a little bit about Greece and what they've done. They've cut the minimum wage in Greece, among other things, the austerity programs. This is what has the people setting the country on fire, and these are the kinds of things we need to do here.
Yeah, well, yes. Over the long term, we must rein in our spending. The reining in Greece is particularly severe because their debt crisis, well, frankly, they've hit a wall. There's no way they can repay all the money that they owe. Specifically, they're firing tens of thousands of government workers. They are cutting the minimum wage in Greece by 22%. Other private wage areas will also be cut significantly. They are in a depression, and it's going to get worse, and that brings the demonstrators out on the street. Now, whether we can expect the same kind of riots in the streets in America, I don't think so, and I don't want to believe that. But in terms of just pure money, we're headed in that direction. And I'll tell you why. We are racking up debt at an incredible rate. We spend $9 billion a week on interest payments alone now. It'll be nearly $10 billion by election day, and 10 years from now, under the president's budget, it will be $20 billion a week in interest.
All right.
You cross the tipping point. You can't do that.
Stuart Varney joining us from Fox Business. Stuart, hang on. When we come back, let's talk a little bit about this budget, what's in it and what's not in it. All right, saw Jack Lew say we needed 61 Senate votes to get a budget passed. He doesn't even know or care what is in this budget. The punter-in-chief, as you've called him this morning on Fox News, put together nothing more, in my opinion, than a campaign speech. What say you?
Totally agree with you. And by the way, you do not need 60 votes to pass a budget. You need 60 votes if a measure can be filibustered. You cannot filibuster a financial measure like the budget. You need 51 votes. The Democrats have 51 votes, so why on earth don't they put this budget to a vote? They won't because they know it won't pass. But more substantively, Matt, to your point, this budget is a joke. It is a political campaign document. That's all it is. It piles up the debt. It lays out more taxes and more spending. It continues the policies of the last 3 years, which have been wildly unsuccessful in putting this country on a sure financial footing. I think it's irresponsible. That's how I describe it. This is an irresponsible budget proposal.
No question about it. Stuart Varney, Fox business anchor. As always, we thank you for your time in Houston, and happy Valentine's Day to you and your lovely bride.
And my wife and 4 daughters, okay?
Absolutely. Stuart, thanks so much.
Thank you, sir.